Death to the false emperor! Haha! I have fooled you all along as a son of Sanguinius Fowler, but all along I was a servant of Chaos Undivided. This is Brews and Studs, and welcome on in back to the channel. Today we are going to be reviewing a sort of action figure that I have not reviewed before. Well, I suppose the base form we have definitely reviewed, but this is the first time that I will be reviewing a Chaos Space Marine. Ooh, Chaos Space Marine. It's one of those things in which I kind of felt like the Loyalist Space Marines, they're cool and all, but I kind of want to see what the dark side of things have to offer, especially with Chaos. I know that Chaos is, a very interesting faction, and they have a lot of different armaments, the old 30K armaments, as well as different things that they add to their armor, as well as different decorations. Anyways, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to review this one. And which action figure we're going to be specifically reviewing? We are going to be reviewing the McFarlane one, which actually got released not too long ago, maybe about a week or two. So we will see how this one looks, and we will jump right into the review. All right, in front of you, you have a Chaos Undivided Space Marine. So let's get to the unboxing. Opening the contents of Chaos. Okay, obviously ahead of you, you see the Chaos Space Marine, and we will take a look at the bolt gun and see what the bolt gun has to offer. And true to McFarlane form, the bolt gun really doesn't have too much to offer. It is a very bland and stale looking kind of thing. It is literally a black blob with a kind of a grayish brown bayonet tip, as well as the gun tip over here. So this is actually fairly detailed in my opinion. You got the bolt rounds over here, and then the hastily applied clip over here. And then you have some other cool Chaos looking kind of iconography over here, as well as over here, which sets it apart from other Space Marine bolt guns, because obviously we all know the Loyalists have a very clean bolt gun. And I like it how gnarly looking this bayonet looks, because, well, that's exactly how Chaos is, and I think that McFarlane actually captured it really well. Kind of wish that they would have put a little bit more coloring on this bolt gun to make it pop a little bit more. And here is a combat sword, and I'm not sure if this is supposed to be some kind of battle damage, but it looks like it's actually paint damage over here. The paint is very uneven and not smooth. I think this is actually supposed to be smooth, and this is a little rough. So I think this is a painting defect. But if you want to look at it in the grand scheme of Chaos, maybe this actually fits in the whole entire genre. So again, there's nothing to be said about this. Very bland, very flat. So looking at the backpack, obviously very Chaos-y as well. You've got the Chaos iconography going on over here, and then up here as well with the fence. As you turn it around, you have the spikes and stuff going on over here. But again, where McFarlane really lacks is diversity in painting, and this literally just looks like a black blob. So again, a little bit of a miss in my opinion. Maybe the pipes over here should have been colored a little bit silver. Maybe this area should have been like this gold color over here, or like some kind of like hash nut copper type of thing if you're using GW paints. So let's take a look at the Space Marine himself. And looking at the helmet, this is actually a pretty cool helmet. I think that looking at this whole entire action figure, again, McFarlane did a very good job of capturing all the Chaos goodness, and this horn is actually pretty cool. But if you're looking at it, there are some painting issues over here where the highlights were missed, and I'm actually surprised that this has highlights up here. So you got a missed highlight over here, and a few missed highlights over here. It's a little rough. So I'm actually curious to know what you think of this. Would you rather have absolutely no highlights or kind of rough highlights such as this? And looking at the lenses, it appears that the red does not cover as much as it needs to, because there's some black peeking out over here. Same thing, there's some black over here as well, where the red needs to be extended a little bit more. And looking at the pauldron, it's pretty cool. I like again, the different iconography here. the horns, as well as the different little chaosy type bits that you find. But looking at the painting on the Pauldron, it looks like the greenish gold color kind of spilled onto the black part, which it shouldn't have. But looking at all this stuff, it's cool that they captured the battle damage. Obviously, these Marines have been around a lot longer than the loyal Space Marines, so it's understandable that these armors are going to be very, very messed up, as well as have battle damage. And looking at the other Pauldron too, yeah, this is pretty cool. I really like this skull iconography here. Looking at the chest area, I'm surprised that they're offering a different color. Usually you would expect this to be like completely black, so they painted this obviously some sort of darkish bronze kind of color. I have no idea how to describe it. It does set itself apart from the black armor itself, which is nice. I like the feel of this loincloth. It's very interesting. It's textured, and it's also very, very pliable. So you can like play around with it, which is kind of nice. And then moving on to the legs. Again, you got some really cool iconography. I like this literally warped skull, and obviously you have the iconography over here. I think that the gold part should have been extended from here all the way to this end. So that's a little bit of a miss on my opinion. Okay, taking a look at the range of motion. I think as usual, you have 360-degree rotation with the head, and I think you have 360 rotation with the arm itself. The elbow has a 90-degree rotation. Very free, very loose, but not loose enough where it won't be able to hold either the bolt gun or the combat knife or sword or whatever you want to call it. And then this has a nice 90-degree angle bend, and the wrist itself should be 360-degree rotation. And the same goes with the side over here. With regard to the torso area, it doesn't actually bend at the torso, or it doesn't actually pivot at the torso. It kind of pivots right here. So this is 360-degree rotation for maximum maneuverability. And then down here you have 90-degree rotation at the knees. And then over here you're able to probably pose it on uneven ground over here. And then with the legs you're able to swing it out probably like 270 something odd degrees. So it does have a lot of room for posability, and that's what McFarlane does pretty well in my opinion. However, what I think actually is amiss here is that you are only able to give this Chaos Space Marine only one armament, and that's either obviously the bolt gun or the sword itself, because this hand unfortunately is not able to grip anything because it is an open hand. It would have been nice, like, if it was Joy Toy, you could able to swap it so you can dual wield the bolt gun as well as the knife, but unfortunately, you can only single wield one or the other, which, in my opinion, is a bit of a miss. So that's the review, and let me wrap this one up real quick. So what are my final thoughts on this bad boy? Well, there are some pleasant surprises to me, in that there are highlights over here. There is multiple different color that's painted on this action figure. It does stand out in my opinion compared to the other McFarlane action figures. What I do like is also the accuracy to which McFarlane mimics the Warhammer 40k miniatures. This does capture all the chaos-like goodness that you would be able to find. However, there are some misses. Obviously, there are some small painting issues, but that's come to be expected. But what I feel, again, is that this action figure looks a little bit flat. The color scheme doesn't seem to be popping out, in my opinion. And there are some areas in which that really could use some different colors. So like maybe this area could be a nice silver color, or maybe this, to give us a little differentiation. This was a big miss in my opinion. This thing looks like a black blob. And also the bolt gun is a bit of a miss. I wish that this actually had some silver pieces there. But overall, I suppose if you're a Chaos fan and if you have $20 to spend, I think $20 is actually a good price on this action figure. So this is Sprues and Studs, and I hope you enjoyed this review. Again, there's going to be more reviews coming, whether it be Bandai, Joy Toy, or McFarlane that's going to come out. So look for those reviews in the coming future. So as usual, I will see you all in the next one.